Okay, now we're going to move away from air standard cycles into more realistic cycles, or cycles that begin to model more realistic engines. Engines you might see in your car, or tractor, or lawnmower. Yes, we'll be talking about that. Okay, but if we're going to do that, we should talk about some terms that you're going to see inside of these different talks about engines. So first off, this ratio here. Now, most engines have pistons in them, probably several pistons. And those pistons move up and they move down. And there's a max volume that's ever inside the piston of air and fuel and other things. There's a min volume. And there's this volume BDC and volume TDC. What in the world does that mean? As I know, if you know what it is, it's found down here. We'll get to that in just a second. But for now, what is this ratio of the max volume inside the piston to the minimum volume inside the piston? Answer is compression ratio. Now, this is important because what we're going to learn eventually is that for many types of engines, the greater your compression ratio, the better your efficiency, the better your power. The issue is that when I compress something, its temperature goes up. And when its temperature goes up, it gets to the booming point. We don't want it to go boom. That's called knocking. It's not good for your engine, and it messes up the cycle. So we need it to only ignite when we tell it to. And so how do we get it to do that? Well, we'll learn different ways. By the way, if we can find new fuels that are better at that, it'd be great. Okay, so what is this part of an engine? Well, it seems like this is where air might go in and air might go out, which probably means it's our intake valve and exhaust valve. What is the width of our cylinder called? Bore. It's called the bore. Sorry, couldn't help myself. And then what is this spot here and this spot here? TDC and BDC. Now, if you don't know what TDC and BDC stand for, it's top dead center and bottom dead center. That's because if I have a cycle, it will be spinning some sort of arm like this, and that arm then pushes the piston head up and down, and there's a point where those arms are going to be directly above and directly below. And that'll be where this guy is at a bottom and a top. So when it's directly below, that's BDC. It's below dead center. TDC when it's directly above it, top dead center. I would say below dead center, bottom dead center. Sorry. My bad. Okay, let's find these last two things. And so this is the displacement volume and this is the clearance volume, okay? Displacement volume is this. This is how much air I'm actually able to push out of my cylinder. However, some of that air stays. Some of the air that was there originally does not move, and that's what's called the clearance volume because I don't actually clear that. It stays in the engine. Okay, we did pretty good here. Now let's talk about a term called mean effective pressure. Okay, mean effective pressure. Now, what is it? Well, it's simply our network over the max volume minus the min volume, which is our clearance volume. Nice. So our network over our clearance volume. Oh goodness, I said that wrong, sorry. Network over our displacement volume. My bad. V min is equal to our clearance volume. Network over our displacement volume. So I'm trying to say here that an engine that can produce more work for less displacement is a pretty good engine. If I don't have to displace much air and therefore do a lot of combustion, that's a pretty effective engine. And so what do we use this for? Well, it's a way we can compare performances of reciprocating engines of equal size, okay? So I'm trying to figure out how it works when I'm comparing different engines that have equal size. It's an easy way to do it. It might be simpler than calculating efficiencies of other things. And if I have an engine with a larger value of this, so more work for less displacement, then it means it performs better. So it's just giving us another way of looking at this. Now, another cool thing is that we know that this area right here is equal to our net work. But a cool thing is mean effective pressure actually has units of, who would have guessed it, pressure. And the pressure times our displacement volume, sorry, mean effective pressure times our displacement volume is actually also equal to our network. So it gives us another way of calculating that too. And the units for that are pretty simple. You see network here, I'm just multiplying the bottom onto the other side. Okay, so we've introduced this new term, mean effective pressure, and next time we're going to be going into the first of our new cycles, which is the Otto cycle. So we'll talk about that next time. I'll see you all in a bit. Bye-bye.